Okay, stop. I need you to actually think about this. You are alive right now. Your heart is beating, your lungs are working, your brain is processing these exact words. And nobody, not a single scientist on this planet, can fully explain how that happened. Not because they haven't tried, because what actually happened 4 billion years ago on this planet is so bizarre, so unexpected, so almost impossibly unlikely that even the people who study it for a living sometimes just sit back and go, how? Just how? This is that story. And I promise you, by the time this is over, you will never look at yourself the same way again. Let's go back. Way back. 4.5 billion years ago. Earth doesn't exist yet. There's just a cloud of gas and dust swirling around a young sun. Then, over millions of years, gravity pulls it all together. Rock smashing into rock, heat, pressure, chaos. And what forms is, honestly, the least promising place for life you could possibly imagine. No oxygen, no ozone layer, constant volcanic eruptions, meteorites raining down from space. The surface temperature hot enough to melt lead. If you could stand there, which you absolutely could not, you would look around and think, nothing will ever live here. Ever. This place is a disaster. And you would be spectacularly wrong. Because something was happening underground and in the oceans, and possibly deep beneath the surface that nobody expected. Here's the setup, and pay attention because this is where it gets genuinely mind-bending. Early Earth had water. It had heat from volcanic activity. It had chemicals, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, the basic ingredients. And it had something else, energy. Lightning striking the surface constantly, heat from hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, ultraviolet radiation pouring in from the sun with nothing to block it. In 1953, two scientists named Stanley Miller and Miller-Urey did something extraordinary. They took those basic ingredients, early Earth's atmosphere, water, heat, electrical sparks simulating lightning, and they ran the experiment for just 1 week. And they found amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, the building blocks of life, forming spontaneously from non-living chemicals in 1 week in a laboratory flask. The scientific world genuinely lost its mind. But here's where it gets even wilder, because amino acids are just ingredients. Getting from amino acids to actual life, to a living cell, is like getting from flour and eggs to a fully running restaurant. There's an enormous gap, and the question of how that gap was crossed is one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in science. But here is what scientists currently believe is the most likely explanation, and it involves something called RNA. Stay with me here because this is extraordinary. Before DNA, before the complex genetic code that runs every cell in your body, there was probably RNA, a simpler molecule, but a remarkable one. Because RNA can do two things that seem almost magical when you put them together. It can store information, like a primitive genetic code, and it can act as an enzyme. It can actually catalyze chemical reactions. It can copy itself. A molecule that can store information and reproduce itself. Scientists call this the RNA World hypothesis, and the idea is this. Somewhere on early Earth, in a warm little pond or a hydrothermal vent or a tidal pool, RNA molecules formed, and some of them, by pure chemistry, by pure chance, started copying themselves. Not because they wanted to, not because they were alive, just because the chemistry worked. And here, right here, is the moment everything changed. Because once you have a molecule that copies itself, you have the possibility of errors in copying. and errors in copying mean variation, and variation means some copies work better than others, and the ones that work better copy more, and the ones that copy more survive. You just invented, completely accidentally, natural selection. Life didn't begin with a heartbeat. It began with a molecule making a mistake. But we still need to get from a self-copying molecule to a real living cell, with a membrane, with a metabolism, with the ability to take in energy and use it. And here is where it gets beautiful. Scientists believe that fatty acids, simple lipid molecules, spontaneously form bubbles in water, little spheres, tiny protective shells. And if an RNA molecule happened to be inside one of those bubbles, suddenly it had protection, a boundary between itself and the outside world, a primitive cell wall. The first cell wasn't built, it wasn't designed, it assembled itself from chemistry, from physics, from the laws of the universe doing exactly what the laws of the universe do. And roughly 3.7 billion years ago, the fossil record shows us, something was alive on this planet. Simple, microscopic, barely recognizable as life, but alive. Actually, genuinely, undeniably alive. And here's the part that should hit you like a truck. Everything alive today, every human, every animal, every plant, every bacteria, every fungus, every single living thing on Earth is descended from that first moment. One origin, one beginning. You share a common ancestor with every tree you've ever seen, with every dog that has ever existed, with the bacteria on your skin right now. You are related, genuinely, biologically, mathematically related to every living thing on this planet. The oak tree outside, your ancestor. The blue whale in the Pacific Ocean, your cousin. The mushroom on your pizza, your distant, very distant relative. 4 billion years of unbroken chain, not one single break. From that first microscopic speck of life in a warm, ancient ocean, to you, sitting here, right now, understanding it. The universe spent 4 billion years through extinction after extinction, through ice ages and asteroid impacts and volcanic apocalypses, just to get to this moment. You thinking about your own origin. That is not a small thing. That is everything. Share this with someone who needs to realize just how extraordinary it is to be alive.